Welcome Hunters, and this is Sakot speaking, and today we're here to learn about the Sword and Shield. The Sword and Shield is a set type of weapon that has a bit of everything. It can cut tails, stun monsters, jump to set up a mounting attack, block, use items with no hassle, see it quickly, and has a good movement speed. Because of this, it can be recommended as a new player-friendly option for those who are starting in the game. But is this really the case? Let's have a look. So get comfortable, have your favorite drink or bomb breath ready, and let's find out. Hello training arena, my old friend. So, to start off, you have your basic 3 input combo, the usual deal for most weapons, as this is the main combo to do damage with a weapon, and with the possibility to finish it off with a round slash, and the feature that, depending on the direction you're facing towards, the hunter can readjust himself with a spin/mid combo, so that you can keep hitting despite your own movement and continue the offensive. But now, you also have an alternative combo available. That, depending if you're moving, it does a 3 input bash combo that does stun damage on the head, or a 3 input slash combo that does cut damage and can cut tails off. And to finish off in style, you have the backstep. This is a move that can be used at the end of the combo, in the middle, right after the first attack. It's always there for you. You just need to press the alternative attack button and move in the opposite direction you're currently facing. But it is a bit more intricate than just a backstep. Depending on how you use it, you can do several things. If you just press the button, you'll jump back and then jump right back into the action. But now, if you hold the button, you'll charge up, and upon release, your hunter will jump forward with a downward slashing attack that, if it connects, launches you skybound, and this opens up another 2 possibilities. You can choose to hit the main attack button, which will do a downward slash when you press it, and if it hits, can trigger a monster mount. Alternatively, if you hit the alternative attack button, you will do a small second hop and come diving down shield first for some bash damage, giving you another possibility to stun the monster. If you can hit the head, that is. And that's not even all there is. If you press the main attack button just as you release the alternative button while you're charging up, you'll do a leaping slash. After a forward jump with a diagonal downward slash, it'll set you up to do a 5-hit combo with 3 button prompts that deal a mix of slash and bash hits. It's a mixed combo to deal a bit of everything at the monster. Even the hunter notes recommend to use it with status effect weapons. The move also has a perfect timing, where if you press the button just at the right time, your hunter will flash red and you'll do some more damage. I mentioned on the slingshot. It took me a while to figure out, but you can switch between single shot and burst shot on your slinger ammo. And if you fire a burst shot, you can follow up with a leaping attack. This gives you another option to set up the 5-hit combo without the need to backstep. To wrap up our basic combat options, with the introduction of the Clutch Claw, the Sword and Shield gained the possibility of doing a claw attack right after a roll. This enables you to grapple onto the monster and attempt to tenderize it, without having to stop, take aim, and clutch on. It's a very good move for the hunter on the move. Looking at the jumping attacks, they don't have the same complexity. You can either run up a wall and jump off of it to do a downward slash, look for a ledge to jump off of and do a downward slash, or look for wedge beetles to go high and do a downward slash. Repetition fully intended. All of these can allow you to mount the monster, so do try to use it in your favor when you can. And last but not least, sliding. When you're sliding, you can hit the main attack button to jump off with an upward vertical slash, and then hit it again for a downward slash. It's similar to the jumping attack. You can delay the timing to make your hits more precise. You can also jump off the slide for a downward slash. And then you can also block as you're sliding down the ramp. This can help you keep your guard up as you're going down, or if you just want to play barrel bowling. This covers all about the basic moveset for the weapon, but there is more to see, say, and do when you're out in the field. So let's look for some prey, and I'll show you what more you can do. The word that comes to mind when you're using the Sword and Shield is flexible. Sorry, I don't mean that the weapon bends, yet, but only that it gives you plenty, if not all the options when it comes to hunting. If you want to go cut off a tail, just focus on it with your basic combo. Need some stun time for some much earned breather? Go for the head with the shield bashing combo. You might even break off some horns as a bonus. Maybe you'd like to mount the monster, in order to create an opportunity for you and your party. Charge up after a backstep and fly away for glory. Need to block an attack you can't dodge? Your boy got you covered with blocking. Even if you want to quickly clutch on the monster to tenderize for that extra damage, or to just jump off a monster for a cinematic finish, the sword has it all. It may sound overwhelming at first, but managing to fully grasp all that the weapon allows you to do, and using it when the time is right makes you feel like you're prepared for anything a monster might throw your way, except for a behemoth that still requires you to go hide behind a rock. The unique ability that the weapon has is that you can use and consume items without having to see your weapon. Alright, this may not sound like much if you're used to getting away from the monster to use a potion or placing down a bomb when the monster is sleeping. But keeping this in mind can open up ideas that would be much harder to pull off with the other weapons. For example, I find myself using the bombs much more in combat. Although it is not the most efficient way of using them, since they are used more often when the monster is already asleep, since you can do extra damage that way, it's certainly more satisfying to pull off a well-placed bomb and getting it to blow into a monster's face. Just be prepared for some failed attempts. Or if you want to be efficient with them, just bring a sword and shield that can inflict sleep, or put down some drugged meat, and when the monster falls asleep, just give him a good wake-up call, with a bang. Also, two things I want to show off better are the clutch attack and the leaping slash finish. The clutch attack, besides its use in tenderizing, it's an effective way to get it up on monsters that might just be out of reach, in a quick and effective way. Regarding the leaping slash finish, I just want to say how much I like the animation, getting up to the monster for a cinematic cut, and jumping away for some safety distance, allowing you to plot your next move. The things that stood out to me the most, that might be considered as negatives, was the lack of impact when we were fighting, and that it felt more difficult to pull off whatever it was I wanted to do. On one hand, I never felt the oomph that usually comes with using other weapons, be it in style, impact, or sheer control of the hunt. It's a bit anticlimactic when you're doing a basic combo at the monster's feet and suddenly it falls over slowly as if to mock you, just saying, "Oh no, you got me." And now you're going to begin the combo and the monster just dies. This is compounded when you feel like you've been hitting that tail forever and it just won't cut. Or just hitting the head over and over and over again, and when you know it, you're the one getting stunned all over the place. Another issue I felt when I was learning how to use it, due to all the options, was losing myself on what to do in the fight. Sometimes it would happen like, oh, his tail is turned, so I'm gonna go to cut it. But then he turned, wait, he's turning, let's go and shield bash him. But I haven't mounted him yet, so I should try and mount him. But maybe I could tenderize the tail to make it easier to cut. Oh wait, I haven't cut the tail yet. Dead. With such an abundance of options on tackling the monsters, it does feel a bit overwhelming at first, but like all things, you can only master them with study and practice. So in this section, I'll get a bit more on passives I think might complement the weapon and make its use easier. Since this can be easier to understand and use in the late game, feel free to skip to here if you'd just rather move on ahead. Now, due to the variety of options that the Sword and Shield offers, I feel it is better to specialize the skills on your playstyle with the weapon. Well, that sounds kind of obvious, but here's what I mean. While with weapons like the Longsword or the Insect Glaive, the skill Slugger is useless since these weapons don't do stun damage, and skills like Airbornes don't really fit with more grounded weapons like the Lance or Gunlance. With the Sword and Shield, I think both options can be viable, if you just find yourself bashing the monster's head, or just jump a lot with a charge attack. So, the skills that will stand out with the weapon are the ones that benefit your own personal style. So of all the weapons, I think this is the one that the best recommendation I can give is use the weapon. See what aspects of it do you use better and more, and just reinforcement with the respective passives, just so you can become even better. Well, there you have it, the weapon's mechanics and aspects that I believe are important to know for both newcomers and experienced hunters alike, based on my experience with it. Going into making this video, I really enjoyed learning about the Sword and Shield, since this is one of the weapons I had the least amount of knowledge and experience using, and its versatility just won me over as it reminded me more and more of a certain character from an anime. Although I mentioned the lack of impact and general oomph in the weapon, when used properly, there is a different sense of achievement when you can actually use everything effectively. The one of control through preparation, I think. When the bombs I placed mid-combat explode at just the right time to stagger the monster. When I managed to stun him, just so I can move to the tails and try to cut it off. When you clutch claw on a wing on a Raytheon just to evade its tail swipe. When the monster falls asleep with a few well-placed attacks, and then you can exploit it with some mega barrel bombs. Just when everything clicks, you get a feeling of a professional taking down his mark effectively. There's little flashiness in it, but it sure is effective. All in all, I feel it is an excellent choice that lays out all of the game's options when fighting, and it's also good for defensive tactics, due to its overall speed mobility and the possibility to use items quickly, and its additional blocking capacity. And thus, the great monologue on the Sword and Shield ends. Well, almost. I just want to thank you for watching this far, and I hope you had fun with it, as well as learned something here today. Let me know if I missed anything that might have been important to mention, if there's anything else you'd like me to say for the next one, or if there's anything in particular you really liked in this video and would like to see again. So as for the next one, I'm unsure. I'm thinking about going Unga Bunga. Or maybe not. We'll see. Subscribe and stay tuned for when it's done. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I do hope to see you in the next one. Until then, good hunting.